Hey everyone, welcome back to the Movie Couple channel. I'm Wendy and this is my review for Until Dawn. One year after her sister's disappearance, Clover and her friends head to the remote valley where she vanished to search for answers. As they explored an abandoned visitor center, they encountered a mass killer who murders them one by one. However, they mysteriously awake at the beginning of the same night, and they are forced to relive the terror over and over again. So from what I understand, Until Dawn shares the same name as the video game. Now, I've never played the video game, and so I was having a friend trying to explain it to me quickly right before our screening started. And it sounds like a very similar premise where it is a group of people, or you, in the game, you are trying to survive the night. And what sounds a little bit different is that in the movie, you are, yes, you're trying to survive until dawn, but you are kind of in this loophole, this like Groundhog's Day moment in this abandoned visitor center over and over again, where in the game, I don't believe that they do that. And so feel free to let me know in the comments if that's incorrect information, but it sounds like in the game, you are not in there like night after night. It's not like a Five Nights at Freddy's situation where you have to survive the 5 nights. I think you are just surviving until dawn. So that is one of the differences that I think there is between the video game and the movie adaptation. As far as the entities that are coming after Clover and her friends in the movie, I don't know if they look the same in the video game or not. So if you have played the game, please let me know in the comments below. Now, from the look of the trailer with the director who's attached to it, I was pretty excited to go into this movie. I really enjoy David F. Sandberg's work, especially Lights Out, which is the first time I've seen anything from him. And then after that, I believe he went on and directed Annabelle Creation, which I also liked a lot. Now, if you look at the trailer, this movie promises a ton of scares, gruesome deaths. It is rated R, which got me even more excited because I think I'm about to sit down, edge of my seat, and have a really good time. And I did. I had a lot of fun with this one. I will say though, I feel like Act 1, it took a little bit to get started because they had to do not so much an exposition. Well, let me take that back. They kind of do start you pretty intensely in a more horrific, intense situation. But after that, they go into a little bit of a time jump, and then they have to introduce you to the characters that the movie is going to be centered around. And I don't mind that. I like seeing these characters who we're about to spend the next hour and a half with, and who they are, you know, and their relationship with each other. And unfortunately, as much as this movie tried, I didn't feel like I really got to know these characters enough to really care about them. I will say, with the exception of Clover, who it really, because it's her sister who disappeared a year prior, and the whole reason why they're searching around this abandoned visitor center is because she's trying to find clues on her sister's disappearance, or at least find some answers to point her in the right direction. So sure, things start a little bit slow, but once they got inside the visitor center and the night begins, it gets a lot of fun and it gets pretty gruesome. And once that part gets going, they like really just throw you into those horror scenes, which is something that I ate up right away. The characters don't know why this is happening, so every single death is coming as a shock to them. What's even more fun is having them kind of relive that loop, that crazy time loop that they are in, and it's all the right emotions, right? They are scared, they're freaked out, they don't understand what is going on, and their instinct right away is to leave. What I also like what they did with the characters is that they kind of are left with a little bit of physical marks on them, on their person, from the death they experienced. So for example, one of the characters like got their head sort of bashed in, and so when they woke up, or when they restarted the night and they looked in the mirror, you can kind of see like almost like bruising on their face. So I like that detail. Let's talk about the scares. The scares are good. They're all very different. A lot of them are a lot of fun. R-rated, so it's definitely gory. And then there's some that are just like fun, where you're like, I can't believe that's happened. It's still gruesome. It's not like corny cheesy, but you're kind of, you have to laugh at it because it was so unexpected. And there's one death that they kind of used to their advantage that I kind of enjoyed a lot. And of course, there is one specific scene that I don't really want to call it like an Easter egg to David F. Sandberg's like Lights Out movie, but if you saw Lights Out, whether you just saw the short or you saw the feature film, that he uses a specific, tactic with the lights, and he plays with like the distance of the creature and how close they are in proximity to the character that they're trying to attack. And he uses that in this film. He uses it well. He doesn't use it the whole time. It's just like a little nod to it. I like that. And there's other little tiny Easter eggs in there, at least like one that I picked up. And you will see it when you see it. As much as I enjoy the scares and they are fun to watch and they're very creative in some of them, and a lot of them will make you kind of squeamish, for an R rating, I also thought it would be scarier. So not just like gory and like kind of makes you a little squeamish because of how they're dying, but I thought the horror element of it would be a lot more intense as well. And yes, there are tense moments, but I was hoping to sort of be on the edge of my seat the whole way through and see if these characters will survive the night. And I kind of instead just sat back and enjoyed, which was also a good thing. So it's not really, like a bad thing, but for an R rating, I was hoping for them to kind of amp up that horror element. And this is something that I kind of notice across various horror films, specifically horror films kind of like this one, or like a slasher film, where characters will make really weird decisions, and I feel like that they do it in this one. It doesn't make sense at all. There is no motivation for it. So I don't know if I want to put that on like the writing, or maybe it's like the editing, where they're like, oh, we want to hit that like hour 30 time, and we just cut some of the conversation out, because it's a lot of this, not a lot, but like in the third act there are decisions that feels a little abrupt, that it was made out of character. So I felt that that was really interesting to watch, and it made me scratch my head a little bit, and I said, that's interesting. Why would they choose to do it this way? Just because it felt out of character. Overall though, I had a good time with this movie. Like I said, I think the deaths and the scares are fun. They are creative. I really did wish that they amped up the scare a little bit more, make it a little bit more intense for the R rating. But I think for Until Dawn, you're gonna have a good time in theaters, especially with a group of friends. I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a matinee it. And there you have it. That is my thoughts on Until Dawn. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section once you've seen it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.